I went to an APEC summit with Obama after Trump's last victory, and it was pretty dark. But people didn't quite know what the hell was going on. What's Trump going to be like? He was, his team that he was rolling out. Yes, it had Steve Bannon, but there were some conventional people in the mix. I'll always be haunted, Tommy, by this comment that Xi Jinping made to Obama. I was in the meeting at that summit in Peru, Lima, the same place that Biden had an APEC summit. And Xi Jinping said about Trump, if an immature leader throws the world into chaos, the world will know who to blame. And I think we've kind of been dealing with that ever since. You see that China's doing business on that. This is what jumped out to me from this. So, Xi Jinping opened a $1 billion plus port in Peru. That's a big part of their investment to win over the global south through these, they build infrastructure and then they extract critical minerals for a clean energy transition. Poor Tony Blinken announced like a few $1 million in diesel train engines or something. Just kind of not, and that's not a shot at them. It's just that the Chinese are running away with this thing in terms of they have a predictable policy that they can continue administration to administration. And we're all watching the Trump show here. The rest of the world is moved on. They're aligning around China. They're aligning, or they're neutral, like Lula. Guys like Lula are going to be very important, the Brazilian president, in the next couple of years. Where do they go? How do they just kind of go all in with the BRICS, which Brazil is obviously part of, or do they kind of hedge their bets and move back and forth? Do they keep working on climate change? But you could the vibes out of the summits were it wasn't just because these countries priced in Trump. The vibes are very much like the U.S. is kind of, them not being in the picture was unfortunately a pretty apt metaphor for kind of where the world is going. And look, to find the opportunity, and I think you and I have talked about having conversations, heading into next year about the opportunity is we got to borrow a poorly, I was gonna say build back better. It's a rebuild. We need a new foreign policy as Democrats, entirely new, to deal with this world that I'm just describing. A world in which there is no liberal rules-based order with the U.S. at the center of it. There's opportunity in that, frankly. There's opportunity in a rebuild, and that's kind of how we have to start thinking. What is a different foreign policy look like that is actually designed for this world that we're in? The problem with the Biden foreign policy is so much of it was designed for a world that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, the America is back is just not going to work after 4 more years.
We're not going to be back in the same way.